Background to school board. I also have laryngitis, so bear with me. COVID shot Monday. Um,
Uh,
I, I, one time I was the MSBA president for a year, served on the Melville board for 15 years, so I kind of see things from a school board side. My main interest is to see what we can do with the early childhood portion of this, basically pre-K, and what we can do to I guess amplify the ability and do what we can to almost go to 100% funding for pre-K through the formula, as opposed to 8% for just free and reduced or for free and reduced lunch students. So that's my take.
excellent.
Okay. I should also remember, like I said, I'm interested in funding. That's my main issue.
Funding. I'm gonna have to call out somebody at the end of here to talk about what happened Monday night with the Rams settlement money and early childhood. Yeah, it's a big mix smash, a big quilt. And so we're gonna soak it all up, right, everyone? And figure it out.
Both
Go
daughters.
ahead. Hey, Larry, call on somebody else.
Marcia.
Hello, everyone. I was hoping I didn't get called because I'm on my way back to the office, but I am a parent educator with the Riverview Garden School District, and I am going to piggyback off of what Larry said. I am really interested in universal pre-K, and so I would love to see that happen. I would love to see that get funded. I would also love, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
I can.
Oh, okay. I would also wouldn't mind being like part of a team that would work on something like that.
Well, Larry might be the right person and Joanne to be part of that team. So it would be nice. I'm thinking just, and maybe Larry and Joanne can help me with this, having a speaker that can talk about how they're see, like Tulsa, we could get somebody from Tulsa or that have universal pre-K and how they got to it and the pluses and minuses.
The
Right?
person you probably want to talk to is oh, the voice again is Joanne, who will come up in a few minutes. She's the chair of our early childhood effort, so she might be able to
Joanne.
amplify on that.
Joanne, I'm gonna
call on
Marcia.
Joanne.
There you go.
Hi.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Joanne. Yeah, Joanne
Marcia,
Seda.
Joanne, Marcia.
Thank you. Yeah, so I was on the U City board for many years and I'm now in the Special School District Board of Education. And yes, I have been working through the professional learning community of board members in St. Louis County for several years. With Laverne, who I invited to join us. I'm glad she was able to come, and with Larry and with some other board members and some legislators on a universal pre-kindergarten funding model for St. Louis County. And we're actually working on legislation to be submitted. And if you would like to learn more about that, we would actually be happy to present at the next hub meeting, the next early childhood leaders meeting, to tell you more about what's going on and get some stakeholder input.
That would be wonderful. We do have a speaker for December, but we'll get back to you about January.
Right.
You know, I always, and we can talk about this offline, but I always worry about the 6-week to 3-year-olds. And I know we got to start somewhere, but it's got to be a smart, you know, we've got to do it right for our kids.
Yes, and we couldn't agree more. Yes, and happy to talk about it offline.
And Joanna, are there other topics that you would like to learn about?
Oh, I learned something every time. I'm really excited about this early childhood tool that we're looking at today.
Wonderful. All right, well, call on somebody else.
Yes, I will. I see Christina Horton.
Hey everyone, I'm Christy Horton. I am the navigator social worker at Mercy Kids Autism Center. This is my first meeting. So for those that don't know, we diagnose children up to the age of 12 with autism here. We also do medical follow-up and a variety of therapies. What do I want to learn? This is my first meeting, so I'm really just learning the feel of things and here for collaboration and how to help our kids.
Have you seen the
So-
new PBS show where the main character is autistic?
I have not.
I have to send that to you. It's dynamite, and I
Okay.
can't think of his name. Right, but the issues of autism are finally getting better recognition, and it is a very important topic for this group.
That's
So,
wonderful.
thank you.
I'd love to hear because usually I feel like we hear about that stuff, and I have not heard of this one. So
Carl the
great.
Collector. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Leah. That's it in the chat.
The
Carl
Collector. Okay.
The new show.
Oh,
And they're-
wonderful.
I know,
Wonderful.
and it makes somebody who has autism, it's fun.
That's cool.
Jumping in.
Wonderful. That's real cool. All right. I should call on somebody else, right? I'll call on Natalie McCarthy.
Hi, everyone. My name is Natalie McCarthy. I'm a multicultural coordinator with Impact. Impact helps families going through the special education process. If you're unaware, we help individuals with disabilities from birth up to age 26. So I do a lot of one-to-one family support, and we also provide workshops too. My colleague Amanda has presented in the past, I believe. She presented, I think, What is Impact? And what the calls that I'm receiving more recently are questions about first steps, what it is, and how parents can get referred to the program. And I have a specific interest. I actually worked as a first steps provider for about 8 years prior to taking on this role. So I have a special place in my heart for first steps. It's amazing if you can get it to the families. But it feels like we're kind of working in silos. I don't know if you've heard that expression before. It's very new to me. And so I would love to know more about how to spread the word about what is available.
That came up at our last meeting a lot about how to special services for families, how we can create a one-stop shop. Yay, Howard. Sounds good. Howard, do you want to introduce yourself?
It's a perfect segue, right?
Yeah.
So
I
Natalie,
love first steps.
Natalie, I will send you my contact information, and we'd be more than happy to talk and provide any information or any presentations or anything that we can to help anyone and everyone understand. So I'm Howard Smith. I'm with the director with St. Louis Area First Steps here in the St. Louis area. I'm the director for Region 1, which is St. Louis City and St. Charles County. We actually have both regions here, so we cover St. Louis City, St. Louis County, and St. Charles County. So I hope I said that correctly. I'm the director for City and St. Charles County. First Steps, we are the early interventions program here in the St. Louis area for children birth to 3 who are referred to us for a variety of different reasons, a variety of different ways. So parent referral, medical referral, parents as teachers, childcare programs, and we evaluate those children and then determine if they're eligible. Then we provide ongoing supports and help those families navigate through the system, and then eventually transition over into early childhood special education if they choose to do so. One of the things that I am interested in, I think, is Lisa, what you just mentioned is like that one-stop shop. Like just coordinating resources, being able to coordinate, a place where families can go, and then there's that coordination of if they're referred to our program, but they're not appropriate for us or not eligible, we can hand them off to someone else, or there's a network of where do families with with young children go who are seeking support and services of whatever type. And then also interested in opportunities for ongoing professional development for our staff, to make sure that our staff are maintaining their credential as far as education goes, and understanding the world of early childhood and early intervention, and being able to provide the best services that we can to the families that need our services. So we are required now, our service coordinators are required to have a minimum of hours of professional development. And so we're looking for just a variety of different opportunities and ways to do that. And then also participating from the first step standpoint in professional development, to be able to educate the community and families and anyone about our program and services and that we provide. So.
Perfect. Wow. Yes. This is a pretty loud call here about getting our special service programs aligned here in St. Louis and then distributed out. I see us kind of pulling together a survey that then we can send out to you all, but then you can send out to others, and we can really get a landscape of services. And I will also be in touch with you, Howard, about speaking at one of our community leader meetings and looking at professional development. Want to call in somebody next?
Oh, let's see who has not. Let's Amy Dunnigan.
I did know that was going to happen when Howard was up. I am Amy Dunnigan. I am the child and family care facilitator at WashU. So I work with employees who have questions and need resources, from children at birth all the way to the older adults that they may care for in their lives. So a huge gamut, and depending on who I'm working with that week is like, this is what we need more information about, I think. So this week it would definitely be, providing more education about the new CCDF plan, and the things that are happening there, the changes of how families get subsidy and what information is being taken in. I did attend the CCDF webinar with the Office of Childhood today. Some great information, but still some questions that are not quite answered yet. But also I'm going to really echo what you're saying, Lisa, is about having quality care for infants and toddlers in twos, which and finding quality infant toddler spaces, childcare spaces, not only in the St. Louis area, but in the state, is a critical issue right now. So definitely anything we can offer in that area will be helpful, I think, to everybody on the call.
Great. Thank you, Amy. And Amy, if you already have resources that you like, that WashU uses to give to families for children 0 to 5, it would be great to see those, because I bet it's very comprehensive.
Yeah, I'll take a look at what I have. I have only been at the university for a short time. So, and I'm kind of using all the experience I have with the community to reach out and make connections and do lots and lots of outreach in that arena.
That's great. Amy, you want to call on somebody? Or I can?
Yes, let's call on, I'm trying to see. How about calling on Melissa Moore?
There you go.
Yeah, I'm Melissa, and I'm happy to be here. I am the MOSPN, that's our statewide parent involvement network coordinator at Missouri School for the Blind in the outreach department. So I'm coordinating a program not only for the St. Louis metro area, but for the whole state, where I have parent advisors spread across the state that do free home visits to families. And the one qualifying thing that the child needs to have is a vision difference, a vision loss of some degree. They can also have, obviously, like a dual sensory. They could have hearing and vision differences and or other multiple disabilities. And on our website, there are referral forms for agencies such as First Steps or Parents as Teachers.
Oh,
Yeah, as well as parent referral forms if a parent finds out about our program and would like to refer themselves. And trying to think, I don't have like a specific topic in mind. I'm kind of piggybacking on what others say that, you know, it's nice to stay on top of like preferred or best practices out there. So continued professional development is wonderful. And also what a couple others have said, I think Howard and Natalie, like coming up with some sort of collaborative, like a resource type list, just like for the metropolitan area. So if one agency can't help, or if I were to get a call and I can't help, I would know who to refer that family to. That would be great.
thank you. Melissa, you want to call on somebody else? I don't know who
I
we have.
forgot. Let's see who hasn't gone. Has Mackenzie gone?
Mackenzie, are you there? Is Donna, are you
Yeah.
there?
I was gonna say Donna was the next one in my line there. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. I'm
Hey.
sorry.
no.
My name is Donna Gibbons with Parents as Teachers, Show Me Strong Families. I'm manager over community partnerships and groups. I'm also a full spectrum doula. What I would like to see, our families are struggling, like Amy said, trying to find quality childcare for infants, and space, just space available. Some of them are unable to return back to work because they cannot find childcare. So it's really hurting a lot of families. And with Parents as Teachers, we're also accepting families. We have 2 parent educators. So if anyone have families that would like to be a part of Parents as Teachers, please just, you can email me, you can email Lisa, and Lisa can get that information. We work with families prenatal to the age of 5. So please reach out to me. But if anyone knows any center that have space available, I would love to find out so I can get that information to our families.
Not to Casey Hansen, are you there?
I am. Sorry, I'm eating lunch.
Sorry. I was just gonna say,
Hello,
did you
everyone.
hear what Donna just said? If there's any spaces open, her families need
Hi,
infant and
Casey.
toddler childcare.
Yes.
Hello.
I'm gonna let Casey respond to that.
Yeah, I mean, infant and toddler care is obviously the biggest issue here in St. Louis metro area and across the state as well. I will say I'm on the board at Lee May Child and Family Center. So if that's not on your list, please add it to your list. Check them out for your families. But I'm Casey Hansen. I'm here today as Deputy Director of Kids Win Missouri. We're a statewide policy and advocacy organization. We focus a lot on early childhood issues, including pre-K, child care, home visiting, as well as children's health and mental health issues and child welfare. So I really come to these meetings and we have staff throughout the state as well who attend other community leader meetings. Some of what we learn just working, you know, on some of these policies and investments at the state level, and we do a little bit of federal advocacy as well. But also just to kind of try to keep a finger on the pulse of, you know, what's happening in the different regions around the state and how we can be helpful with our work, and how we can hopefully also help communicate some of the challenges on the ground to state leaders as well. So that's mine.
Awesome.
Hey,
Anybody?
I
Oh, hey,
wanted to hop.
Mackenzie.
I'm sorry, I was trying to get off mute, and by the time I got to it, it was just too late. Everybody had started talking, so sorry about that, everybody. I'm in transition, so I'm just hopping on. But I'm with the Gateway Early Childhood Alliance. Hey, for some of the folks I know online. Hey, to the people I don't. And we're the regional coordinating entity in the area, and we're primarily focused on early childhood quality, access, and funding for our region. We work really closely with some of the other agencies that focus on childcare providers, and just a lot of advocacy in the community. So that's about it.
Mackenzie,
I know I'm kind of running
so-
in between, but I'm here.
I'm just, you know, the question was like, what topics would you like to learn? But is there any way, oh, thank you for the chat. Is there any way that you can sum up in 3 minutes what happened on Monday night at City Hall with the RAM settlement funding?
Absolutely.
Was
We're
phenomenal.
Yeah, we're working closely with the organization We Power. You know, we've had worked with Kids Win and all of, you know, some other organizations, but we're primarily trying to ask for $100 million from the RAM settlement fund that St. Louis City will be getting, so that it can be allotted to a program called Joyful Spaces that the Alliance, IFF, at the time Urban Sprouts, and also MHB worked together to roll out as a pilot program. But it's to help programs do some work in their facilities, so that can help them also kind of get to quality. You know, we have some programs who can't open a classroom because there's a leaky roof. We have some programs who just need some better curb appeal so that they can get people to come on in. So we're also working with Child Care Aware for some of the RAM settlement money to be able to offer teaching wages to childcare providers and educators. So there was a meeting at City Hall on Monday. We Power was able to present to the Alder Board about the program that we're presenting and how the money would be used. It will be housed at the St. Louis Community Foundation, and the Alliance will administer it through grants. So that was that. It was, you know, we were able to have providers testify. We were able to have some of the other organizations that are involved testify about how the money would be used, what it would look like. There is some opposition, you know, just from other organizations that want the money, or other, you know, people who are just want things another way. So, you know, we're just all trying to present our case as to why there should be an initial investment with these dollars.
Well, I commend you and everybody that evening, and it's a long row, and I believe we will have a little better, nothing moves fast at City Hall, so a better understanding, I guess, in February or March. So thank you. So, and I thank you, Leah, for putting the article in about the RAM settlement money in the chat. Does anybody else want to come off mute before we have our presentation?
Hey guys, I'm Kristen Clemens. I'm the director
hey,
of
Kristen.
childhood at Brentwood. And I'm always interested in how we can grow our workforce. and any efforts that are going on for that. As we all know, hiring is difficult and the pool is only getting smaller. And that's been a passion of mine for several years, is how can we get people to go into education specifically for preschool?
And you're thinking pre-K school district, not, you're thinking everything.
Everything. I
Yeah.
also used to be an adjunct for the early childhood program at SEC, and I was the former president of the Division of Early Childhood. So this has been special ed, special ed, school district, childcare, preschool, everything. It's a declining population.
With that, I will say that the discussion Monday night was about Teach, which provides more professional development for early childhood educators, and wages, which would provide supplemental wages. So it is one route, but it's like a patch on a broken system. So thank you. All right. Anybody else? I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen again. And I would like to introduce Sarah Hintz with Mark, Mid-American Regional Council in Kansas City. She's going to be speaking with us about a phenomenal new tool that's just hot off the presses, called the New Early Childhood Landscape Tool. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Lost my, okay. Are we good?
Looks good.
Yeah. Okay, great. Well, I am Sarah Hintz. I'm the Digital Services Manager here at Mid-America Regional Council, and we, me and my team, built the tool that I'm going to demonstrate for you here shortly. But just to let you know how you can get here, the United for Children website has on their front page a direct link to the tool here. We got here through, we developed a similar tool for the Kansas City region. So we have an early learning program area at Mid-America Regional Council. And so back in 2019, the director of that department reached out to us. We're more kind of IT, GIS data people, and asked if we could build a tool for the Kansas City region. So we built that tool, and a couple of years after that, we were contacted by United for Children to build a tool for the St. Louis region. And then last year, probably early last year, contacted again from by United for Children to build a tool for the entire state. So that is what I'm going to show you now. Again, you can get here from the United for Children website. If you click that, it's an embedded website here on the United for Children site, but you can, if you scroll down, there's a link, and that's going to open it up in a new browser, which honestly I would say is a better for viewing in terms of like your screen resolution and things not getting cut off. Anyway, so sorry. Get this back here in the middle. Over here on the, let me see if I can minimize that. Sorry, get that out of the way. Okay.
Looking great.
Okay. Along the, so it's a map-based application. Everything in here is going to be, you can click on things. Over here on the right is the table of contents. These buttons at the top, if you're on map, this is what you're going to see, and I'll show you the report here shortly. We'll go through the mapping section first. So we've broken the data down into these different categories. So there's community demographics, family economics, public school demographics, health, provider characteristics, and then there's this community assets and boundaries, which I will go through kind of one by one just to show you what's in here. By default, the application is going to load. It's going to have this % of population under age 5. And if you look under, if you look at these individual tabs, this in parentheses, if it has a 1 there, that means you've got a layer turned on in there. And So if I wanted to go over to family economics and turn on percent below poverty, it's going to switch my map. And now I'm going to see that I have a layer on in here. So if when you have these collapsed and you're trying to figure out where you have a map turned on, that's the way you can tell. I'll just go back over here to community demographics. So here we've got percent of population under age 5, under age 18. You can look at density by race and Hispanic origin. Let me zoom in here to University City. And this will take it like the address bar here, or search. You can type in a city, you can type in a specific address, and it should be able to zoom you in. We'll zoom out. So this is going to be more of the St. Louis region here. Down here on the left, you've got the legend, so you can see that the green dots represent the white population, the purple is Black or African American, Hispanic is in orange, Asian, Pacific Islander would be in red, and then other is in blue. Let's see, move on. We've got households with limited English proficiency. You can also look at population with limited English. And then percent of children in immigrant households. This is all, I should say, tract level data. So census tract level data that comes from the American Community Survey 5-year estimates, if any of you are familiar with that. As you click on these up here in the left-hand upper corner, it's going to give you basically a percentage of whatever layer you have on. So this is going to show me that this children in immigrant households, since that is the layer that I have on. Go ahead and look at family economics. Here we've got percent of single parent families, population below poverty. Those look like they're pretty highly correlated. Children under age 5, below poverty, and then a concentrated poverty measure. So that's just where the population below poverty is 30% or higher. Less than high school graduate, median household income, unemployment rate. A lot of these variables are correlated. Households receiving public assistance, and then percent of children under 6 with all parents in the labor force. Moving on to public school demographics, here we've got ratio of pre-K to school age children. So the higher I believe it's, I want to say it should be pre-K over school age. So if the percentage is higher, let me just make sure that I'm right. Yeah, children age of 5 to 9 is 2.5. So a value over 1 indicates a larger number of children under age 5 compared to the number of children age 5 to 9. Got children 3 to 4, so your preschool age children. Percent of those that are in preschool, percent enrolled in kindergarten, and enrolled in 1st to 3rd grade. Health, we only have a couple measures here, but we've got, percent of population that's uninsured. And then there's this life expectancy measure that comes from the Centers for Disease Control. Prepared this data. It is a little bit dated, and they expect to have a new one out, I think, next year. So that'll get updated, hopefully in the next year or two. Under provider characteristics, this is where you're going to find all the child care information. I think I might just turn this off for a second. So child care centers, these are all clickable. They're going to give you a little more information. What's the name of the center? What's its address? Is it licensed or not? And then what's its capacity? Family homes, it'll get the same information. Group homes. And since these are point features, you can, in fact, turn them on, and they will remain on top of that choropleth layer below. Let me go back here. Let's see. capacity. So bigger bubbles here are gonna represent centers that have a larger capacity. The smaller ones will have a lower capacity. What centers are licensed? Again, the orange will be here and are license exempt, and the blue are licensable. Quality assurance report, which I'm sure means something more to you than it does to me, but we've got that here, that they felt that was a pretty important thing for stakeholders to be able to see. And then a layer for childcare deserts. So that is gonna be where the ratio is greater than 3 to 1 in terms of the number of children in a census tract compared to the capacity of the childcare centers in that census tract. I'll turn that off. And then under these community assets and boundaries, here you can find schools, public and private. The early learning regions are here, they're on by default. We've got libraries, parks. Let me turn some of these off. Transportation stops, where we have them for the state. So I think that's Columbia, Jefferson, Springfield, maybe Springfield or Jefferson City, and then the Kansas City region. So you got routes and stops. You can see the names of those. Those are all also clickable. And then if this little house button up here, that's going to zoom you all the way back out to basically where you started. So if we look at, we have the early learning regions. I'll turn those back on. But in addition to that, we've got zip codes. Along the right here, there's an option to label these. Let me zoom back into University City. So you can label those. We've got the school districts, and you can turn those on. See all the different school districts in your region. Cities are here as well. Label those. There's University City, and then we have the county boundaries also. I'll turn those on. Those are all the different kind of mapping components for this area. So if we were to go back and look at percent of children under age 5, and I want to make sure I have those city boundaries on. I've lost my frame of reference here. Okay, so here we are in University City. We're looking at tract level data for children under the age of 5. If you want to get a little more information about University City, we can run a report. This is canned data, so you're not having to select any data points. Those have all been selected basically for you. I'm going to turn maybe this off. I want this map off real quick. Okay, so to run a report, we have a whole bunch of different options here for geographic level for your report, zip codes, school districts, cities, counties, the early learning regions themselves, and then statewide. So if I just wanted to go ahead and do some cities, I'll select University City. I'm just going to do Clayton, and I'm not see all of that. The next option here is to select what type of report do you want. There's an option to compare and an individual report. So comparisons are going to give you chart data. So I've got 3 geographies selected here. It's going to give me charts that are going to compare these 3 cities on all the metrics that are included in the report. If I select individual, it's going to give me tabular data, and I'm going to be able to view each one of those cities independently, and we'll just look at both of them. So I'll select the compare report first and let that run. Across the top, you can, these are all just basically jump buttons. So if I want to just jump right down to family economics, it's going to take me there. Jump down to health, it'll take me there. So here you can see that it compares across the cities that I selected on the map. And then for the county health metrics, all 3 of those cities are in St. Louis County. So it's only going to give me one one bar here because they're all in the same county, but if I had selected a city that maybe crossed county boundaries, it's gonna show me all the counties that intersect that particular city. You can option to print that page, and then each one of these charts also has the option to like print an image. If you wanted to add that to a report or something, you could do that. Go back and we'll look at an individual report. So now we've got tables per geography that I selected. So I have University City. If I want to switch and look at what Clayton has, I can switch that by just clicking each one of these buttons. Again, if you're looking for like those public school demographics, so we're looking at track level data on the map. If you want to see what it is for University City, you know, how many children do you have age 3 to 4? 584. How many of them are in preschool? 418. That's 71.6%. Again, enrolled in kindergarten through 3rd grade. All the capacity of the childcare centers in that city, how many of them are licensed, and then the few health metrics we have, and then all of the county health metrics. And the county health metrics come from the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services. So from their, I think it's the Community Assessment, MICA, I think is what they call it. So all that data can be found on their website, but we've added it to this this application. Can download these tables in Excel or CSV or print the whole thing. Let's see. You can also, if I go back to my map and I wanted to turn something on, let me go back here. I'm going to reset and clear everything out. Do population under age 5. If I wanted to just have this particular area, I could print a map of this. So maybe, sorry. Give it a title. Choose between portrait and landscape on letter size or tabloid. You can choose a different format. It defaults to PDF, but you can pick some of these other image formats if that would be a preferred option. And then under this advanced options, if you had a need for a higher DPI, you could do that. You can also toggle on and off the legend in here. And then you just click export. It's going to create your PDF, and then you can open and download to your local computer. We'll look at that once it's done. But while we're waiting, at the top, across the top, we have 3 buttons up here. One's about accessibility. One is just some brief instructions about the application, and then one's just kind of an about page. And then this report issue. Go ahead and click on that. If you have any issues with the application or you have suggestions, feedback, you can use this form to send that to us. It's going to come directly to us at Mid-America Regional Council. The accessibility options, this is going to kind of walk through all the different measures that we've taken to make this a little more accessible to people that might have vision difficulties. You can navigate the entire thing with your with the arrow keys and the tab and the space bar. Worked on contrast ratio for those with colorblind disabilities, and then added hover overs, so you get alternate text on things that if you hover over them, as opposed to having to view. I'm sorry, I'm like,
no, this is
I'm going over my
phenomenal.
words.
This is phenomenal information. It's so much to absorb. I want to
you
make
go through it
sure
really
because
fast.
of time,
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that, Larry, was your question answered?
Sorry, I was on mute. Looking at the breadth of all the data that's in here, I'm interested in how many data sources you had to go after and what it took to actually make them all talk to each other, because I'm sure the keys were different.
Well, most of the data, I went ahead and clicked on this, how to use the site up here. It does have a downloadable user guide that's going to be a little more in-depth, but here it also lists all the different data sources. So for the most part, everything came from the Census Bureau, with the exception of life expectancy, and then all of the provider characteristics came from the state of Missouri Office of Childhood and United for Children.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And Kristen, you, I guess you could go report an issue if
Sure.
your center.
It's not, it's not on the map.
Got
So
it.
what do I do?
What is not on the map? I'm sorry.
Our early childhood center is not on the map.
Well, tell me what it is, because that data comes directly from the state. So we're using the state's file.
Sure.
So then I feel like I will double check what we got. If maybe just put it in the chat and I can copy.
Sounds
it out
good.
there.
All right, thank you.
Sure. And maybe your email, and then I can get back to you.
Amazing, Sarah. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think one of the takeaways from this is for everyone to spend the next month looking around at this. And the question we're going to start out our next meeting is, how can you use this data? Can you use this for your grant writing? Can you use this for your research? Can you use this to help your families? And so we'll have a bit of a discussion about that. And boy, is this a quick hour for me. I think for Tiffany too. I'm going to scroll to the end. We kind of knew we weren't going to be able to get through a lot of these other resources. And many of them, you know. And we do have a lot of questions we need to discuss. I'm thinking we almost need a survey of sorts to get a lot of these questions answered, and to get, I love really a big step is getting a handle on resources, special service resources, a one-stop place for that. So our next meeting is Wednesday, December 18th. I hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving. Leah, I hope your son feels better. We are going to have Miss Sarah Kennedy, wonderful, talking about phenomenal report, Solving Missouri's Child Care Puzzle, the missing piece. Her research out of that, I guess, Leah, you want to throw that in the chat? Or no, we were gonna, yeah, if you want. Or you guys can all Google Solving Missouri's Child Care
I can throw it
Puzzle.
in the chat too.
Awesome. And she's going to be explaining the research behind that and their recommendations at University of Missouri. And thank you all for inviting people. Continue to invite people that are stakeholders in this region. And anything else? I see messages. Oh, yes. And in St. Louis Magazine also had, thank you, Leah, also had a great article this week about the child care crisis in St. Louis, really focusing on interviewing Robin Phillips with Child Care Aware. So we're talking about it. Yes, not a resource, an article. Thank you all. Thank you all for attending.